Good morning, everybody. Good to connect with you via internet. I hope you're all doing well today. It's a rainy day out there, so I have a special story that will go along with that rainy April day today. So I want to say good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, dear Robbie, Miranda, Ethan, Bradley, Chance, Corey, Thane, Declan, Bentley, Giovanni, Braden, Mason, and Kaylee. And to all my other friends at New Holland Early Learning Center and any family members that are watching today, let me know if you're watching. I'll mention your name next time I do a video. So it's good to connect again today. We are going to start, of course, with our calendar. This day that I'm doing this video for you is the 21st of April. So we have Tuesday, April 21, 2020. So do you think we could count up to 21? We're getting into those big numbers here. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So 20 is a very important number that we should remember right now because 20 seconds counting to 20 is how long you should be washing your hands to stay safe and germ-free. So remember that, counting to 20. You get lots of practice of that every time you wash your hands. We also have another special thing on our calendar this week. On the 23rd, 2 days from now, is somebody's birthday. That is Giovanni. His birthday is on Thursday, so a very happy birthday to Giovanni. Happy birthday to you. Everyone sing along. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Giovanni. Happy birthday to you. So, as we're in the singing mood, let's do our days of the week. Are you ready? Actually, why don't we use our calendar? That might be a little easier for you to follow along. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. And of course, the months of the year. We need to get our other list out for that. Can you follow along? January, February, March, and April, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. 12 months in the year. All right, and this month is April. Okay, moving right along. Last week, our letter of the week was letter S. Let's see if we can review some of our letter S words and review our book. Hopefully you are all able to print that out and color that and help to practice reading that. Letter S, I'm sure you can think of lots of words with letter S, but let's do a few here. Everybody say the S sound, and remember the Jack Hartman videos to practice our letters. S, snake, snack, one of my favorite S words. Sail, like a sailboat. Sandwich, another good thing to eat. Sand, sea, two of our sight words, 6 and 7, and star. Love looking at the stars at night. And somebody's last name, Braden. That's right. Okay, let's practice real quickly our letter S book again, and then we'll go to our letter for this week. Letter S book. The sun can go down. So our sight words can, go, and down. Of course, one of our original sight words, the. The sandwich can go down, down into his belly. The submarine can go down. The sandcastle can go down. The seal can go down. And one more. The seesaw can go up and down. Whee! All right, that is our S review. And now this week's letter. Hopefully you got the book for this week on my email. And the letter is U. Now I need to remind you that there's 5 letters in the alphabet that are vowels that have 2 very significant sounds. And they have a short sound and a long sound. So the sound of U that we most use is the short sound, which is the sound. So everybody try that. For umbrella, and and up and under. Now these two have the long sound of U. And the fun thing about the long sounds of the vowels is that they say their name, so you don't have to think about what sound they make. They just say their name. Like ukulele. That's a fun instrument to play. Ukulele. So you hear the U say its name. And unicorn. Unicorn has that long U sound. Do you remember the other vowels? Maybe we could write those down while we're thinking about it. So U is one of them. The other one is A, says A or A. U. I says I or I. Another vowel is O, says O as long out or long O, or ah as in the short sound of O. And there's one more. Can you think of it? Some of you might remember. Did you guess it? Letter E. E can say its name. It can say the E sound, or it can say eh, as in the short sound. So those are our 5 vowels. A, I, O, E, and U. Okay, so moving on to our very last letter. This year we have gone through every letter of the alphabet. This is the last one. So we're talking about some combination sounds from here to the rest of the year. So this week we have the letter U. Look, so listen to see if you hear the short or the long sound in the letter U. He is one of the sight words. Can see up. Is that short or long? That is the short U sound. He can see the umpire. Did you hear that? I think we're going to have all short U's in this book. Umpire. He can see the umbrella. Another short U sound, of course. He can see under. Under, he is under the car. He must be a mechanic, so he is looking under the car. Another short U sound. He can see the uncle. So his mommy and daddy's brothers would be an uncle to him. He can see the uncle. Another short vowel sound. And one more. Are you ready to laugh? Everybody needs a good laugh these days. Underwear. He can see the underwear. Ew. You don't want to see underwear, do you? Unless they're clean in your drawer and you're putting them on in the morning, of course. So underwear is a U word, so that is in our book. So under. Now look at the underwear word, because the first part is under, and that's the same word as, because you wear them under your clothing, hopefully, the same as back here, the mechanic was under the car. It's the same meaning. It's just put with wear because it's the part of your clothes that you wear under your other clothing. So that's how you learn to read. You put things together like that. Very good. Okay, that is our letter U. We are going to do something new today. So if you got my email, hopefully your parents or great parents, whoever's taking care of you, got the instructions on how to make your very own clock. So I threw this one together in a paper plate that I had, and I wrote 12 numbers around, just like on a clock. And then I cut out and colored some hands. I made them colorful so that they stand out on the white background. Just put this blue ring around it just for fun because I wanted to decorate it. And then I used this thing, which is a brass fastener, they called it. Some people call them a brat. They come apart in the back. Let me show you. See, it could pull, you could pinch those things together and push it through. And then when you get them on the back, you open them up. You just poke them through the ends of your hand. Oh, let me back up a little bit. What I did is just cut these out of hard paper. You could get cardboard. You could cut up a cardboard box or use whatever you want to cut out one longer arrow and one shorter arrow. Poke a hole through it and then punch your little brass fastener through there and then open up the little handles on the back. So then you can move it around and we can learn to tell time. Now what I did was I first drew on the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9. So when I had those at the 4 different spaces, 12, 6 is directly under the 12, and the 9 and the 3 are directly across the middle from each other. And then I went back and filled in the other numbers so it was spread out nice and evenly. So what I'm suggesting that you do when you get this made is to, well, as you learn to tell time, just move the little hands around and see if you can tell the time. This, the large hand is at the 12 and the little hand is at the 9. So we say this is 9 o'clock. So then we would go around, this would go, the long one would go the whole way around, and then am I going the right way? I've even gone backwards because I'm looking at the video. And then the little hand would move to the 10, and the next hour would be 10 o'clock, and so on. And it would go, this large hand goes the whole way around, and then while the large hand goes the whole way around the clock, the little hand goes from one number to the next. So then it would be 12 o'clock. So watch your clocks at home and see how they work, and that will help you to learn to tell the time. So right now, let me show you my clock up here on the wall. Can you see that? It says 1:23. It is in the afternoon. It is 1:23. So let me see if I can make my clock. Set my computer back up here. Make my clock 1:23. So the hour is 1. So I'm putting my little hand that shows the hour at the 1 and the little hand at the 23. So now it looks the same as my clock on the wall. You see that? Okay, so to learn this, there's a lot to learn at this, so take your time and don't be upset if you don't figure it out right away. It takes time, so this is just the introduction. So what I'd like you to do with your clock is to ask your moms and dads, whoever you're with, what the next scheduled thing is for your day. Say it's in the morning, say it's about 10 o'clock, so little hands at the 10, the big hands at around the 12, and you want to know when it's going to be lunchtime. So at our school, we would eat at 11 o'clock. The little hand would be at the 11 and the big hand would be at the 12. So maybe you eat lunch at 11 o'clock. Maybe you eat lunch at 12 o'clock. So what you could do is put the hands, have them help you decide what time it would be for the next event. And then you can watch your clock to see when it matches the clock that you made. And then you can say, okay, now it's 12 o'clock. And that will give you good practice. And then after lunch, you could say, okay, what time are we taking our nap? Isn't that exciting? It's exciting for me. I don't know about you. So maybe 2 o'clock, you're taking your nap. So you put your big hand at the 12 and the little hand at 2. And then watch your clock on the wall and see when 2 o'clock comes around. Then you'll know it's 2 o'clock when it matches that. And then you'll know it's time for a rest, or maybe story time, or something like that, or maybe your favorite show. So lots to talk about. We'll be talking a little bit more about this in the near future. I'll keep a hold of this and we'll talk more about the different times, but I do want you to take some notes, mental notes. Think about how I have the larger numbers next to those other numbers there. And what that means is these dots and numbers each are 1 minute. This is the minute hand. It goes around, and each minute it changes from one dot to the next. So when the large hand goes from like the 12 to the 5, that's 5 minutes. Don't worry about the little hand for now. So then from the 1 to the 2, it's another 5 minutes. And from the 2 to the 3, it's another 5 minutes. So we can practice on our clock counting by 5s. We did that at school. Hopefully you remember. So we go the whole way. Each one of these big numbers represents 5 minutes. So we go the whole way around. 1 hour is 60 minutes. So let's count by 5s. See if you can follow with me. Can you see it nice and close? There we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 60 minutes in 1 hour. As long as this hand, the large hand, takes to get all the way around. And that's how long it takes from the little hand to get from one number to the next. So the big numbers say the hour, and the little numbers say the minutes. We'll talk more about that soon. So that is our introduction to time and the clock. Now, if you have digital clocks or you look at your phone for the time, it just tells you the numbers, which is very simple, but you don't have to figure anything out. But this is a good way to really understand time. Okay, so check your email. There's some things there about Earth Day, which is this week. We would have been talking about things about how to take care of our earth, about recycling, not throwing everything in the trash, but recycling some glass and plastic bottles and different things like that. Taking care of our earth by not littering, maybe planting trees or making some, there's a good time to think about planting and to make our community look really pretty and taking care of our earth. So watch for more things coming out on that via email, or also on the website, on the Facebook website for New Holland Early Learning Center. Okay, so I don't know if you could see it where you are behind me. It's pretty bright outside, but it also is raining. It's a kind of a rainy day today. So I found a story that has the U in it. Up, up. What's up in the attic? Because I think a lot of you are probably cleaning out closets and stuff that you've had in the closets way back and in your drawers and toy boxes that you didn't even know were there. It's a fun time to clean things out. I've been doing a lot of that myself. So we are going to see what happens when Ernie and Bert from Sesame Street go up into their attic and what they find. So What's Up in the Attic by Liza Alexander and illustrated, he drew the pictures, Tom Cook, illustrated by Tom Cook. Here we go. Hopefully I'll get you to see the book stories real good. What's Up in the Attic? It was a drizzly, gray day. On Sesame Street, Ernie listened to the dreary sound of the rain against the window. "There's nothing to do," he groaned. Bert said, "Cheer up, Ernie. How about a game of Ducky Land? It used to be our favorite. Come on, let's go up to the attic and find it." Bert gave Ernie a flashlight, and they climbed up the steep stairs to the attic door. "Ho hum," sighed Ernie. From the window at the top of the landing, he watched the swollen rain clouds scuttle across the sky. The windows let some light into the gloomy attic. Bert found a couple of old-fashioned lamps and turned them on. Ernie shined his flashlight around the musty attic. "Wow, there's lots of great junk up here. Where's Oscar when you need him?" "Ha ha," he said. "Ernie, this is not junk. The stuff in this attic is like a scrapbook. It can tell us about our past," said Bert. Ernie knelt down beside a big old trunk. "Look at this, Bert. It's Great Aunt Ernestine's trunk. It's been everywhere. Here's a sticker of the Eiffel Tower. That's in Paris, France. And here's a sticker showing the Golden Gate Bridge. That means it's from San Francisco. Wouldn't you like to travel and see the world when you grow up? I sure would, said Bert. Then he pulled a fringed jacket out of the trunk. This trunk is full of family things. This frontier jacket belonged to my grandfather's grandfather, Old Mountain Mike. They say he once wrestled a bear to the ground with his bare hands. He had a coonskin cap, too. Let's look for it. Okay, Bert. A coonskin cap would be pretty neat. We could use it to play cowboy, said Ernie. And it would remind us of the old days. I'd look pretty sharp at a coonskin cap. Yes, sirree. Now, where is it? Said Bert. Ernie climbed up on the chair to poke around on top of a wardrobe. Lots of boxes were up there. A wardrobe is a big, tall closet that's not built into the wall. It stands out and can open the doors and find goodies in there. They didn't used to have closets in all the houses like they do today, so they needed wardrobes. Maybe you have one at your house. I used to have some. Bert dug down deeper into the trunk. Oh, look what I found, Ernie. Uncle Bart's antique paper clip collection, cried Bert. What's an antique, Bert? Asked Ernie. It's something very old. Some antiques are special because they're different from what we use today, and some are special because they belong to someone important. Good old Uncle Bart. He gave me my very first paperclip, said Bert. Ernie and Bert forgot all about looking for Ducky Land. They even forgot about the rain, but Bert did not forget about the coonskin cap. It's got to be here somewhere, said Bert. Searching in a far corner, Ernie brushed aside some cobwebs and found his old tricycle. It was much too tiny for him now. My, how I've grown, said Ernie. His knees scrunched up as he pedaled his trike. Let's see how fast this baby can go. Stop it, Ernie, yelled Bert. Ernie crashed around the attic at high speed. He knocked past the wardrobe, and some of the hot boxes tumbled to the floor. Ernie screamed to a halt in front of the dressmaker's dummy. Bert wiped his brow and said, "Whew!" What do you think they found when those hot boxes fell down? Do you see it? Then Bert discovered an old-fashioned record player called a Victrola. He put a record on it and cranked it up to make it go. That's how they listened to music a long time ago. That's definitely an antique. Nearby, Ernie found a fancy black jacket and a top hat. He put them on. "May I have this dance?" he asked the dummy. They waltzed around and around to the Victrola's tinny music as Bert snapped his fingers to the beat. Then Bert said, "Look, it's Dandy the rocking horse. Remember what fun we had riding her when we were little?" Bert put on Mountain Mike's jacket, and he jumped into the saddle and began to sing, "Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play." "Shucks, I sure wish I had that coonskin cap," said Bert. Ernie slung an old brown rug over his shoulder and lumbered up behind Bert. "Grrr, I'm a bear. I dare you to wrestle me to the ground like old Mountain Mike did," he said. "Don't be ridiculous. We've got to find that coonskin cap," said Bert as he swung down off of the dandy horse. Then Bert found something interesting. "Oh my goodness, here's one of Bernice's baby pigeon feathers. I forgot I saved it. And here's her baby picture. Wasn't she an adorable chick?" "Hey, Bert, look at this. My old marbles." Ernie gathered the marbles and looked around for something to put them in. Then he spotted a furry tail amid the boxes. It was attached to Mountain Mike's coonskin cap. Oh, Bert will be so happy, Ernie said to himself as he tossed the marbles into the cap. Bert was so busy searching that he didn't even notice what Ernie was doing. The coonskin cap isn't here anywhere, he said with a sigh, taking a last look around the attic. Let's go back downstairs. The sun's coming out anyway. Ernie balanced all his family treasures in the tricycle basket and rode over to Bert. Ernie plopped the cap on his head, and the marbles from inside clattered all over the floor. Ernie, you've lost your... Hey, you found it! Mountain Mike's coonskin cap, said Bert. Sure, Bert, just for you, said Ernie, and he gave Ernie the cap, or gave Bert the cap. Wow, he's got quite the tricycle load there, doesn't he? Then, Ernie, what are you planning to do with all of this junk? Asked Bert. This stuff is just what our place needs. A dressmaker's dummy, a tiny tricycle, a top hat, a fuzzy brown rug. Help me carry a few things, Bert, said Ernie. So they carried all their attic discoveries down the stairs. This afternoon, up in the attic was fun, said Ernie to Bert. I'm glad I thought of it. So then he brought it all downstairs, and then what did Ernie do? Did he play with it? No, he ran outside into the sunshine. Hopefully he'll play with it later or put it away. They had fun searching for new stuff, didn't they? All right, so I forgot earlier we were going to do a song, so we're going to do that now. It's a song that we did with Miss Aud in chapel. I've got Peace Like a River. Do you remember that one? Let me get to the right spot, and we will play it. Here we go. I've got peace like a river. I've got joy like a fountain and love like an ocean. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace, love, and joy like a river. I've got peace, love, and joy like a river. I've got peace, love, and joy like a river in my soul. I've got peace, love, and joy like a river. I've got peace, love, and joy like a river. I've got peace, love, and joy like a river in my soul. All right. I hope you enjoyed that song and the circle time. See you next week. Bye-bye.